What is up, everyone? Welcome to Game and Movie, a new podcast here that takes apart a game and a movie.
The worst idea for a podcast, considering how notoriously bad movies and games made after movies are thought of normally.
Yeah, we've got two actually surprisingly good. Well, on the game side, it's surprisingly good, I think.
Surprisingly.
Die Hard for the NES, and the movie, the OG Die Hard.
This is before he died harder.
This is before he died harder. That is correct. So, my name is Anthony Schwader. I am a co-host here. To my left is Dieter Barnes, and to his left is Mark Peterson. What's up, guys?
Hello, Tony.
Hi.
Hello.
So this is the first time any of us have done this, so we have no fucking clue what we're doing. I'm going to try and loosely string us along here. We're just going to fucking give it our old country best, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be a little trial and error, I think.
Dieter, what'd you do this week?
I worked all week, Tony. It wasn't cool at all.
I did the opposite. I didn't work at all. No, I worked twice.
I hate you.
It's been hard, though.
I've always kind of hated you. For stuff like this, mostly.
I don't usually talk about my work schedule with people, because I usually get that reaction.
What you did this week was just work? Did you play any games?
Well, yeah, I play some games.
You've been known to play a game or two.
I play a game or two. Actually,
we're PlayStation 4 friends, so...
We are,
sometimes I see Dieter play.
Wait, are we friends?
Yeah, I think we're, newly friends on there.
Hell yeah.
You need to be more attentive to your friends list.
I know, right? Remember the day that you and I were messaging back and forth, did, a bunch of, stickers?
Yeah, that was fun.
That sounds awesome. I'm really sad that we haven't done that.
I'm like,
yet.
why am I on Facebook? This is so much better. PlayStation Network.
We turned into two 14-year-old girls. Yeah. It was awesome.
It was pretty good.
Turned into.
I mean, I never messed around with any of that stuff, so
I've been playing through Mad Max. Maybe that could be a future episode.
Possibly.
Oh yeah.
So who does Mad Max? The publisher or the developer?
Oh God, of course you're gonna ask me that. No, I don't know.
Right?
It's actually for it being, you were just speaking of how notoriously bad usually games based on movies are. This one's actually pretty good. It's not something I think you should spend $60 on, but $30 is it's a solid game. It looks great. The gameplay's a little repetitive, but it's...
What kind of game though?
It's
open world.
Open world, yeah.
Drive around a wasteland.
Yeah, you get your car. You got to fix up your car.
Of course,
drive
that's
around.
perfect. Yeah,
you got a dog that searches for water for you and stuff. Water's a big thing.
That's kind of like dog meat. Little companion.
How do you think it looks on that system?
It looks great. It really does. It was obviously made before the movie came out. Because it doesn't really you're not oh my god, it's Tom Hardy. It's Tom Hardy. And it's like a prequel to the movie, kind of, but it looks great. It's a lot of fun. A little repetitive, like I said, but for what it is, I'm actually very happy with it. Playing that and been playing through the Tomb Raider reboot.
Ooh, yeah. Look at that.
I actually really like that game.
It's good.
I think they took a franchise that was getting really tired and rebooted it in a really great way. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot I like about it. There's a few times where it gets a little too, gory and just, over the top. I don't know.
Just to appease people's bloodlust?
Yeah, I think so. And it's not necessary. There's plenty of other stuff going on in the game. I think the really, supernatural and super gory parts of the game are just kind of overkill. But aside from that, it's actually a lot of fun.
The last Tomb Raider I played, I can't remember what system. It was on PC. I mean, it might have been the same as the
PC?
It might have. It was... I just remember how huge her boobs were.
I was going to say, you said rebooted. I was going to say reboobed.
But there was these parts where she would swim, and I'm playing this as a 14-year-old kid, and you're behind her, and her legs are spreading, and
I do remember that swimming animation.
Yeah, I actually.
I would be wondering if everyone remembers that.
How fucking ridiculous can you get?
Oh yeah, do the breaststroke.
Love those polygons.
Well, I've known you for a long time, and if I remember correctly, in middle school, and correct me if I'm wrong if this was someone else, but you were the one person I knew that was had played all the Leisure Suit Larry games.
Oh yeah, my parents had no guidelines on that stuff. Leisure Suit Larry was so great for a kid. My older brothers would play through it, and I would just stare slack jogged. I mean, I didn't know what the hell was going on, but there were some pixelated boobies and
definitely
sexual references.
I clearly remember you telling me that there was, like, you had to answer a series of quiz questions at the beginning to prove that you were, like, of age to play it.
That's
but
right.
you were like, I remember as, like, we were middle school kids, and you, like, I remember you nudged me and was like, yeah, they're pretty easy, though.
like you're talking about some stash of like porno mags.
That was our porno mags. In middle school, you got Leisure Suit Larry. And like, you love video games and
the floppy
tits.
disk of Leisure Suit Larry. Those floppy.
You got your first boner the other
day. Mark, what about you? What have you been playing?
I have been because of this podcast. I got an emulator on my computer, and I got so many Sega games. I have so much kept catching up to do.
That's right. You posted up a thread about that.
Because when I was a kid, there was so much animosity between me and my classmates about Super Nintendo versus Sega. And I was the only one on the Super Nintendo side. And these kids would be like, blast processing! And I'm like, blast processing doesn't mean anything. My brother told me that's fake. And like, I love Super Nintendo.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. You don't remember any of that?
I don't remember blast processing.
Yeah, that was the big thing.
I never had that conversation.
Put in all their advertising.
Okay, here's what blast processing was at the time, because I was heavily invested in this video game war at the time. Super Nintendo
video game wars.
Did you have a Sega and a Super Nintendo?
No, I got the Super Nintendo first, but that's a different story. But yes, eventually I did have both of them. But here was the difference. Here was blast processing. The CPU of the Genesis was at around 7 megahertz, whereas the CPU of the Super Nintendo was at a snail's pace of 3 megahertz.
Really?
So what Sega did is like, this is the only advantage we have over the system, is the fact that we can run our games so much faster. And it already built into the whole Sonic the Hedgehog
they're
thing.
both 16-bit, right?
Right. So yeah.
I'm just glad this is episode 1 and it's already super interesting for everyone.
I know. We haven't even got close to
the blast processing is the 4 fucking measly megahertz that the Genesis had over the Super Nintendo.
It doesn't, I don't know if it shows.
It does. Think about all the games on the Super Nintendo that slow down. Like, if you ever played Gradius 3?
Don't get me started.
That game kicks ass. Better than Life Force.
What have you been playing for Sega?
I have been
playing... What have you been digging on it?
Oh man. I've been loving so many games.
Kid Chameleon.
Kid Chameleon I tried the other day, yeah, and you know, the controls are a little, they take some getting used to, but yeah, it's really cool, and the graphics of these games, I mean, I love it. This is my favorite era of graphics, probably, the 16-bit, Super Nintendo and Sega. But my favorite that I've been playing the most of are Contra Hard Corps. That game kicks ass. Oh, it's like an action movie. Every cutscene is great. That game is amazing. The music is awesome. It's so hard, but it's worth it. It's way harder than any other Contra. And I've been playing Phantasy Star 4. You guys ever play that?
Ooh!
Man, I've been dying for a good RPG, and it's pretty good.
I worked at Electronics Boutique when that came out, and that motherfucker came out at $99.99.
Holy shit!
I have never gotten into RPGs. I can't do it. It just, especially the turn-based fighting ones. Those are, excruciatingly
not for everybody.
I can't do it. Everybody,
just a lot of
people are so into them, and I just don't get it.
It's a certain strategy that's just not for everybody. I mean, if
it's antiquated now. If you think about it, RPGs are mostly, they've gone on to the action side.
Yeah. There's just something nice about, like, you know, your guys are dying, you gotta use different spells and heal at the right time and attack the right bad guy because, you know, they're more powerful. And
I want to do all that shit on the fly, man. Like real fucking magic battles, you know what I mean?
Like, when I do return to RPGs, I find myself a little tired of the whole turn-based thing now.
I usually do, but Phantasy Star was refreshing. It was like playing Final Fantasy 3 for the first time. You know, if I went to that, I'd be like, whoa, this story is amazing, and like,
I always wanted to get in the Final Fantasy games. They look so gorgeous, and I was like, I want that game. And then I actually did get one. I can't remember which one I got. It was for PlayStation 2. It was such a big deal, and I got it, and I was so excited. And then I was like 5 minutes into it, I'm just like, fuck this. I was so bored. I couldn't do it.
I stopped at 10. I mean, before 10, because I waited 60 seconds for a cutscene.
Oh, God.
I'm like, okay, this is not fun
like, in like 8, the summons got out of control. Like, you would literally, like, summon, one of the gods or whatever, and you'd be sitting there for a minute while the summon animation played.
And you have to do that every time you do it? Like, I don't want to use this spell because it will take forever.
Yeah, it was dumb. Anyway, what I've been playing has been on the iPhone.
Holy shit.
Since my...
Get out of here.
Yeah, I know, mobile gaming. Die, false gamer, casual. I've been hooked on the kitty game Neku Atsume.
No, I've seen your pictures.
Oh, yeah. My roommate, who doesn't play video games at all, actually is playing that.
Yeah, and
she likes cats.
Neku Atsume actually loosely translates into gatherer of cats.
Yes.
Or cat hoarder.
It's
like
crazy
cat dude slash
virtual
lady.
cat lady, yeah.
Mostly my addiction is gone with this. I check on it every day, however.
So does it progress while you're not around?
That's the thing about this game. It's
like a Tamagotchi.
It's like a Tamagotchi.
Not really. It's weird. It's a bait and wait game. Which, coming from me, you guys are probably like, yeah, bait and wait. No, you put out the kitty food, and there are different levels of like attractiveness of the kitty food. You can get like the generic shit, or you can get that bomb shit that all the cats love. Cat's pride, motherfucker!
Cat's pride, motherfucker!
Yeah. The caviar and the caviar brings all the rare cats to the yard. And then the objective is to snap a photo of them so you can put it in your little binder. Because you are that crazy about these cats.
Sounds horrible.
So the other thing I've been playing is it's a Magic the Gathering game on the iPhone. Right?
I used to play Magic the Gathering, but
I fucking love it.
I used to play D&D too, man.
I used to masturbate constantly. Little airheads.
Nice. That flew right by me. But yeah, it's a match 3 game. Another good match 3 game is Marvel Puzzle Quest. Very in-depth match 3 game. But my 3DS is broken. The bottom screen is broken.
That was your main platform of choice for a while.
Yeah, it really was. And I have not done any console gaming in a while. It's just been phone game.
Yeah, you know what console game I used to own that, I think I still do maybe, but that's kind of like that cat game, or like a Tamagotchi or something, was, do you remember, I owned a Dreamcast, and, Seaman?
Seaman, yeah.
I mean, come on, it's called Seaman.
Right?
You loved that game. I remember in high school
it was so disturbing.
I was just amazed that you could turn the system off and you could come back and it would predict
because the
what
controller
had
too was like a mini Tamagotchi in the controller.
Yes, the VMU unit or the VM unit
was a pretty solid system that I never owned, and I'm a little jealous.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot of games that came out for it. I don't know that it was really worth it, but there was some interesting stuff for sure. It was kind of an underrated system, I think. But
I think
the voice of Seaman was none other than Leonard Nimoy.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
That might explain why it creeped me out so much. He talked pretty weird.
The animation was really creepy too.
You know, I mean, you're taking care of a fish with a human man's face and cleaning up his shit, and then I don't know.
And then the title, and the fucking title,
and then semen.
So it's like sea monkeys, like those things you'd order away from, and in the catalog they'd always have people.
That's true. Yeah. But this was one fish, and then I don't know. I eventually So you would also have to take care of, if I remember correctly, these moths, so they could create larvae, so that you could feed the seaman. But eventually they weren't creating larvae, so I had to just feed them the moths, and then
you have to mess with the humidity. I remember
was that it? I never figured it out.
You have to mess with the temperature and the humidity, of the the captivity area where the moths were.
Well, I'll say I think I paid $60 for that game when it came out.
Came with a microphone.
It did, yeah, which was big, because you used it for so many things.
Yeah, I mean, you used it to communicate with
you actually had to talk to the seaman?
Yeah,
you did, yeah, which was...
It was seaman.
That was ground
seaman, but I mean, come on.
Because
it's
seaman.
You had one guy?
Let's call it what it is.
Yeah. We're not going to beat around the bush here. But what we are going to do is move on.
Let's move on.
We have a movie to talk about. Welcome back, everyone. We just Mark went to the bathroom.
I went to the bathroom. It was great.
You guys didn't miss much.
I just want to say that it's difficult to. It's difficult. It's like too graphic for our listeners, but
My God.
if you ever have to use the bathroom while wearing underwear, pants, and long johns, it's quite an operation. You have to snake that snake out a number of different channels, you know?
What the fuck is this podcast?
All right, let's just move on.
Yeah,
Okay,
so the
please,
movie we're talking about this week is Die Hard, of course. An iconic movie released in 88?
88, yeah.
88. The production, I've got some facts here, so you're going to learn something while listening to Mark talk about his snake.
Ew.
Anyways, this was actually, it was written by Roderick Thorpe. This was a novel in 1979, so it took roughly 9 years for it to come to fruition into a movie.
Wait, I'm sorry. Die Hard was based on a novel?
A novel called Nothing Lasts Forever.
Who wrote it?
Roderick Thorpe.
The Roderick Thorpe?
Esquire.
All right, if I can interject,
Yeah.
It was actually a sequel to a book called The Detective.
Oh, no shit.
That was made into a film called The Detective, and it starred Frank Sinatra. Now, this is that very interesting tidbit that
Sinatra was the original John McClane?
Holy fuck, dude, my mind is getting blown right now.
When he made that movie, in his clause, he said if they make a sequel, he has first rights to be in the sequel. So when Die Hard came up, and it was going to be based on this sequel to the book, they had to ask him first, even though he was 73 years old.
Oh my god, what if he said yes? That would be so awesome.
Yeah. Wow.
Frank Sinatra is John McClane.
Oh my god, that would have been good.
That would have been good. Damn. So, the novel was adapted to the movie by American screenwriters Stephen E. D'Souza and Jeb Stewart. Jeb Stewart, I don't really care about. He didn't have a very interesting past. But this guy, Stephen E. D'Souza...
Tell that through his children.
Right? He's written... He has actually had his dirty mitts into everything. He's written screenplays for Die Hard 2, Die Harder, The Running Man...
Oh, great.
Hudson Hawk...
Man,
48 Hours, and Judge Dredd.
Oh, this guy's great.
He is
the first
also...
Judge Dredd or the second? The second one's Dredd.
The new one.
The new one's
Dredd.
He's also written entire episodes. Dredd Hardeman.
Which I have to say, the new Dredd is great.
It's so great.
I'm glad Netflix has turned into a series, I heard.
Really?
Somebody is.
That's awesome.
Steven also did entire episodes of some TV shows, The $6 Million Man, so he goes back a long time here.
He's like a
the Bionic Woman
movie hero, basically,
and Knight Rider. So this guy, like, he's had his hands everywhere, and he also does have video game ties. He did the story for Lara Croft Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, which I've never fucking seen. I'm sure it's shit.
Oh, it's one of the new ones.
Yeah,
the original Street Fighter movie.
Oh,
and we all know how that turned out.
I saw that in the theater.
That's when he killed himself.
Yeah, I can see why you don't give a shit about that other guy.
Yeah, right?
This was the screenwriter?
The screenwriter, Steve, yeah. And
what's his name again?
Stephen E. D'Souza.
D'Souza.
D'Souza, and Jeb Stewart is the guy that,
Didn't he write
that's his trashy friend. He's like, I was the screenwriter too.
He's like, come on, give me a writer's credit. Come on.
No one gives a fuck about you, Jeb Stewart.
Your Jeb voices are really different. Can we meet in the middle somewhere, maybe?
Moving on, it was directed by John McTiernan, and he also directed Die Hard with a Vengeance. Was that that was the good one, right?
That was great. That was number 3.
Last Action Hero, and The Hunt for Red October.
Nice.
It was distributed...
here's another interesting fact I read. The teddy bear, I'm assuming everyone who's has seen this movie, I guess we can just assume that from here on out, but
yeah,
the teddy bear that John McClane has at the beginning of the movie, and he puts in the back of the limo, shows up at the end of The Hunt for Red October. It's like the director doing a little nod.
Hell yeah.
The same teddy bear.
Yep.
Remember
that's
Very
awesome.
crazy.
And that's this dude, John McTiernan.
Yeah.
So like he carried that with him.
That's pretty cool.
This movie was produced by 20th Century Fox. Its release date was July 15th, 1988. Its budget was $28 million, but they grossed $138 million total worldwide, with $80 million coming from the US box office. So it did very well. I mean, just smashed its budget.
They didn't get my money, I just pirated it.
Boom, baby!
I was 6 years old.
How old was I? 13. No, 12. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, we got some old motherfuckers up in this room.
We sure do.
So, just going a little bit over the characters here. Bruce Willis is obviously the star attraction. They
offered it to many different people. I didn't write down how many different actors. There was a long list of different actors who they offered the role to. So I don't know.
But after Sinatra, who gives a shit about any of them?
Yeah,
right? Good old Blue Eyes turned it
English or
down.
bad English, you dizzy dame.
So, fucking Bruce. You dirty dame. Get out of here.
Die Hard.
Punch you right in your feminine face.
Oh, and to the moon. He's been in a lot of movies. Bruce Willis has.
Really?
I'm just
Go on.
I'm just gonna list a couple here. The Sixth Sense, Fifth Element. That's weird. Sixth and fifth. You know, you guys. That's crazy. It's kind of blowing my mind.
Go on.
Beavis and Butthead Do America.
He was in there?
Yeah, he was Muddy Grimes.
Yeah.
And I
Don't you remember Muddy Grimes?
No, I don't either.
From that movie we all saw once?
Yeah.
Twice. Pulp Fiction. He was Butch Coolidge. Look Who's Talking and Look Who's Talking To.
I know.
He was the voice of Mikey.
Mikey!
Oh, that's pretty
Didn't make it into the third one about pets, though.
Look who's talking now.
Yeah. That was one of the rare, instances where, the third movie was the best.
You think so?
No.
And my favorite of his performances, even up above this one in my eyes, is 12 Monkeys. He played...
Yes, yeah.
Isn't... oh, no, I heard
James
another
Cole.
interesting fact about this. There was talk around that Bruce Willis had improv a lot of his lines. 12 Monkeys... Who directed that?
Oh, shit. He went on to do Brazil, I know that.
Yes,
Yeah,
Terry Gilliam.
Yes,
Terry
Gilliam.
Okay, he hired Bruce Willis because he heard he improved a lot of his lines, so he hired him for 12 Monkeys.
Whoa.
But then they found out, looking at the script, that he actually didn't improv very much at all. So it was kind of...
Tell me he, improv yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. No.
I have so many facts. I'm glad I looked at IMDb, but him and the director wanted to be yippee-ki-yay.
Hate it.
Yeah, and then Bruce Willis was like, no, it's yippee-ki-yay.
It is.
And then they tried them both, and they liked ki-yay better.
Yeah.
Ki-yay.
The clear best in that situation.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Right?
I would have walked out of the theater as a
Yeah,
6-year-old.
yippee-ki-yay? The fuck is this?
Because it's a reference to Roy Rogers.
Roy Rogers. So, not only that, he got his start from Moonlighting, which was a TV show when I was growing up.
Yeah.
I'd never seen that.
I meant to actually look at an episode on YouTube or something. I remember it being a very milquetoast show about a relationship.
It's like a soap opera?
Yeah, I remember it airing on ABC at night, and I just didn't give a shit about it. Mm-hmm. But then, this is where Bruce Willis, we can all agree that he pretty much got his start here, right?
Oh,
I guess
so.
Die Hard is what made him an international star.
He was actually doing moonlighting while he was filming this. That's why they gave a lot of the other characters a lot of more screen time, because he was just exhausted. He couldn't film constantly.
So, rest his soul.
Can I say something about Bruce Willis real quick?
Yes, please.
I think we overlooked his beautiful music career. I do own
Yes
on vinyl
Yes!
Return of Bruno, which I don't remember there ever being an original Bruno. I don't know why there's a Return of Bruno, but it's great. It's up there with Bacon Brothers material. I love it. Dog Star, Keanu Reeves was good too, but really,
Is it campy?
is it campy?
Yeah,
Is the album campy?
Yeah.
Describe
it for me.
In the way that
music
camping is fun.
Maybe we could put a little clip in here. You think you
It's
could?
good old-fashioned rock and roll, blues-driven rock and roll.
Thank you.
Some covers, mostly covers, I feel like.
I wonder what year that came out. I mean, he must have been a star, because you have to be like a film star.
Well, I kind of feel like this might be controversial to say, but I feel like maybe he wouldn't have gotten a record contract if he weren't such a well-known actor at the time, but
it's possible.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the album stands on its own, but I just feel like he didn't have a lot to back it up to get to that point,
Yeah.
music-wise.
he does have some video game crossovers here. He appeared as the voice of Trey Kincaid in a game called Apocalypse, which is not based on any movie, but they hired him, Activision hired him, just to play the voice of the main character.
I've never heard of that.
Activision is also the Die-Hard video games actor.
That's right, which we'll get to in a little bit.
They probably own him.
Yeah.
The Fifth Element video game, he obviously played Corbin Dallas. And he also played a voice of John McClane in Family Guy, The Quest for Stuff.
Everyone who's played the Family Guy video game.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman is Hans Gruber, plays an amazing role in this movie.
He's great.
He's great.
Obviously, he was Severus Snape later on in his career with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Mm-hmm. And he played, in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the sheriff.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. He's a fantastic actor. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. The surprising one with him is King of the Hill. He played a character called King Philip. So, like, each one of these actors has, like, this one little weird thing about them. Like, wow, you were in that? That's crazy.
There is a scene with Hans Gruber and John McClane where they're, like, interacting, and it wasn't written until they found out that Alan Rickman can do a really good American accent. And they're like, oh, we gotta use this. So they did that scene where he pretends to be an American.
Yeah.
That scene is
a great
awesome
scene
too. Yes.
So that's pretty much all I have for the characters here. So let's talk about the movie. This movie is amazing.
The movie.
It's great.
So it opens up pretty much in the plane, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting next to the guy, and you just see him just clamping onto that fucking seat.
That's
all stressed out.
Yeah. I was just watching just the beginning of this before I came over here. And I had a thought, like, this guy gives John McClane some advice to make fists with his toes on the carpet, and that is the secret to air travel. I don't know if it's supposed to, like, stop jet lag or something. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever tried this.
Yeah, it's relaxing.
It's relaxing. But
yeah, I think I was.
It really, it's like they almost had to put this whole beginning in to get to the point where he has to take his shoes off. Because they want him to have his shoes off in the movie. Because there's all this stuff about him cutting his feet and shooting the glass. It's a huge plot point.
Central part of the game, too.
Yeah, central part of the game, too, yes.
It truly is.
Which is crazy.
The whole purpose of the game, pretty much.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about that.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we'll get to the game, but... Yeah, so I just thought that was interesting, that they had to, like, put in that part, what you just think is, you know, not important at first, and then, you know...
It sneaks up on you!
Yeah.
Oh, wait, why is his shoes off? Now I remember.
That's just good writing. That's just good writing right there.
It is good. It's clever.
That's what's his name.
That's what's his name.
What's his name?
D'Souza,
yeah.
Fucking D'Souza.
Not to be confused with John Philip Sousa.
Yes.
You know, but D'Souza.
I thought it was the same guy.
D'Souza. Stephen E. D'Souza. I mean, real credit. Let's give credit where credit's due. Roderick Thorpe with that fucking novel.
Oh, yeah. Which I kind of want to read at this point.
Yeah, I had no idea.
So Nakatomi Plaza is basically the destination because Bonnie Bedelia plays his wife. And this is, you know, kind of a weird thing throughout. The whole movie is like, you know, John McClane had to go to, was it L.A. or New York to be a cop? I think it was New York.
He's a cop in New York.
Yeah.
To go to L.A.
Right. And so this kind of breaks them apart.
Big time.
And because she wants to grow in this company, she dropped his last name, which creates a lot of tension.
I have this little bit of a theory that I kind of came up with recently. Okay, Bruce Willis. I had this feeling that he's kind of like an old-fashioned guy. This might be like an underlying theme of the movie. He's an old-fashioned guy. Yeah, he's an old-fashioned guy.
You've got me so far.
You know, it's the 80s, and... You know, things are changing. His wife is taking a career, which, you know, I'm not sure when women's lib, you know, movement, but the 80s...
You would never let your wife take...
I mean, at this point, I think we're backsliding on women's liberation. I think, you know, the right place for a woman is, I don't know, playing Die Hard, the video game.
Yeah, for real. Or watching Die Hard, the movie.
Or watching Die Hard, the movie. But, yeah, he's old-fashioned, and there's a couple, I mean... He's, like, pretty working class. Like, he gets a limo ride, and he's like, that's my first time in a limo.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
he sits up front.
Right.
He sits up front.
Because
he's just one of the people, you know?
That's right. Then he gets to, and then he, like, just all the conversations he has, and then he gets to the building, and there's this fancy computer system to like find it, and he's like, "What's this garbage?" And he like doesn't. I mean, computers. It's like it's the '80s. Everything's changing, and I think he's just kind of a fish out of water story.
Can't keep
LA.
Up with the times.
He pronounces like a town wrong, like in the movie.
Idiot.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Yeah.
And that's how he finds out that it's just going by Gennaro and not Holly McClane.
That's the thing. It's like women should have their, keep your last name. And women shouldn't be working and all this stuff,
Yeah, in the limo ride, the driver, what's his name?
Argyle.
Can we talk about that for a second? Yeah, we can. He breaks him down. He's like, "Come on, man, talk to me. Yeah. What's going on?"
Well, Benjamin doesn't want to talk about his feelings.
No, he doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Number one, super unprofessional, in my opinion, on Argyle's part. Like,
yes.
Granted, he's sitting up front with them, which I think kind of breaks some of the, rules anyway. He's like, he's riding shotgun. He's not in the back. But, also, come on, like, you need to know your place as a limo driver.
Or do you? Because he admitted it was his first time driving anyone in a limo.
Did he?
Yes, yeah.
So first time driving, first time riding?
Yep.
Yeah.
First for both of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, Argyle probably doesn't know.
He said he was a cab driver. He's like, people are used to me chatting.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I would say that if I made the foolish decision of sitting up front with a limo driver, if he started talking to me like that, I would like try to look for a button where like the divider came up between us anyway.
God damn.
All right, I'm done here.
You just do it with your hand instead.
Also, I get that it's your first time, but seriously, if you don't really want to have a conversation with this guy, hey, maybe sit really far away from him in the back where you're supposed to be fucking sitting in a limo anyway. I get it's your first time, but you know what a limo is and how it operates because you're not an idiot.
He's working class, though.
He's working class.
He's working class.
He doesn't know how a limo works. No idea.
I love how Argyle
saw him in a movie once.
Yeah. I love he puts in the rap cassette, Run DMC.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he's like, any Christmas music?
Yeah.
This is Christmas music.
Yeah.
Also, another objection to that, I feel like John McClane would probably say something like, just don't play any fucking Christmas music because I hate Christmas music.
Yes,
some John McClane. Yeah. Put on this Return of Bruno album.
Here, you like this.
It's my demo.
So they arrive to Nakatomi Plaza. The party's in full effect.
Let's just talk about Nakatomi Plaza for 1 second.
Yes.
That is, I wrote this down here. It is the 20th Century Fox new headquarters. Like, before, it's still under construction.
Yes.
So, it was still in construction.
They move in there after the movie?
Yeah. It's like they actually rented it to themselves. I don't know why. Like, maybe for tax reasons
Didn't they pay for damages that they had made to themselves, too?
Yeah.
Which sure
they did.
Doesn't even make sense.
Crazy. Yeah.
Rent it from yourselves, and we fucked up. No problem, bro. I got it. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
What are you looking in a mirror? Corporate.
Did they ever finish those floors that they didn't have?
The C4, I think they it's kind of.
I really hope to celebrate the success of Die Hard, they kept one floor with nothing but broken glass all over.
Yes. That's the broken glass floor.
I like that.
Wear your shoes.
Yeah.
If you're going to the break room,
it's like
put your shoes on.
New employee orientations at the end of the hall down there.
A little hazy going on.
So, after we see that, the party's, what was it, on the 33rd floor? We are introduced to the antagonist, Hans Gruber, and his men come in through a truck and just immediately take care of business.
Oh yeah, shoot that guy right in the fucking head.
Right in the lobby.
But the best,
so cool.
You guys are skipping over the best part when they bust in and they pull that couple fucking in that office. That girl's tits are out.
The fucking comes later, but the guy doing blow is definitely before.
No, right when they bust in though, they pull that couple out.
Right when they bust in.
Yeah,
that's true.
Her tits are out. She's all like, "What?"
That was a Playboy model. There's actually 3 Playboy models in this movie. One in the airport at the beginning.
That's crazy.
With the white skin tight pants.
The one that looks at him, yeah.
Yeah, and then one that's fucking on the desk was a Playboy model a few years earlier, and the one that's on the pinup, that he sees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does that to it, sure.
I will say, with the the characters, and everybody's like, oh, if I were in that situation, I'd be John McClane. But let's face it, I think if reality hit, I would be like the guy doing coke and like
You would. I just love this 80s like.
He's a total 80s guy.
Coke. Yeah,
100% 80s guy.
Yeah, he's like the 80s guy from Futurama.
Yeah.
He's like Frozen.
There's two kinds of people in this world, sharks and sheep. Which one are you?
That's totally that guy, yeah.
So, the terrorists, they take over swiftly, make sure that they place a decoy in the front lobby, which is smart.
That guy looks like Huey Lewis? I think he looked
exactly
like Huey Lewis. I kind of wonder if it
was it Huey? Do we have?
It's not Huey.
It's not Huey.
It's not fucking Huey.
It looks so much like.
I love Huey.
Yeah. You got the power of love. So they take over the facade, the appearance, everything. They do a bang up job.
These are swift operators. They're smooth operators.
Yeah,
they know exactly what's going on in the building as well.
Well, it's that German engineering. It's efficiency.
Yes, and most of the terrorists are German.
Yes.
Most of them are. You can hear them speaking in German throughout the entire movie, which
even
is
though
awesome.
Most of them aren't
awesome
really
detail.
German in real life.
It's true. I think maybe one or two of them were like it actually even knew German.
New German.
No, they did not know the language German, although knew German.
Yeah, is it like old money and new money?
It's like
something like that.
He wasn't war German. He was, he's one of the new guys.
Yeah,
so
they're cool.
Yeah. Forget about Hitler.
Yeah, we don't talk about Hitler. We're the new guys don't talk about Hitler.
We're talking about the Fifth Reich, I don't know, Sixth?
Yeah.
Genocide, that's so...
The new guys just talk about Die Hard all the time. They don't bring up World War II.
Apparently when this movie came to Germany, they retranslated it. They weren't Germans, they were just Europeans. Which, I don't understand that, because Germans are Europeans, right? So... I don't really know.
What's the German title? Because Die is the.
I'm going to get to the titles in a bit.
All right. I don't want to skip ahead here.
After we synopsis the whole motherfucker here, I'm going to go through a bunch of titles that this movie had in other. Well, should I just do it now?
Sure.
All right.
In German, it was The Hard.
The Hard.
So, because the title of the movie is an idiom. And it's unique to the English language. I mean, what the fuck does Die Hard mean?
Yeah.
That's what the whole world was asking themselves as they were
still
trying.
asking.
That's
right?
not an idiom I'm familiar.
So it's been changed for every country. Like the obvious machismo ones in Greece, Too Tough to Die.
That's pretty good. That's
makes more sense than the American.
Album?
It is. It totally is.
Joey Ramone actually played John McClane in that version.
In Yugoslavia, it was Die Like a Man. And Finland, it was Over My Dead Body.
Nice.
These are all like kind of better than the American version.
I can't remember what the French one was, but it was really
that's the next one.
Okay.
This one's so arty. The France called it The Crystal Trap.
The Crystal
Trap?
Yeah. What the fuck?
What was the Crystal Trap?
Because it's a building.
Oh my god, it's so
stretch.
French.
All right.
So French.
And then there's the deadpan descriptive China Ultimate Detective.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the original book, right?
I guess it is, yeah.
Yeah.
The detective. Oh, no. That's the sequel.
In
Nothing
Norway-
Lasts Forever is the one.
In Norway, it was known as Operation Skyscraper. And in Thailand,
I like that one actually.
Thailand
That sounds like a Chuck Norris film right there. What if Chuck Norris was John McClane in Operation Skyscraper?
Skyscraper.
Yeah.
Skyscraper.
In
I play
Thailand,
that video game.
it was known as Big Building Fight.
Yes! Best one yet.
That's the best
It
one.
gets better.
That just sounds like two big buildings fighting each other.
Dude, you see Big Building Fight?
Oh my god, those buildings hit each other so hard.
So Hungary and Russia had some real...
That's gotta be good.
Hungary, give your life expensive.
Okay, that's just nonsensical.
Give your life expensive. It's...
Okay, I can't...
That was just
That's like a literal translation or something.
They were just trying to get you to buy shit at that point.
Give your life expensive.
In Soviet Russia, Die Hard's you.
And in Russia, this is my fucking favorite. a hard nut to crack.
That was the porno translation, though, right?
Word for word, the title of the movie was Hard Nutlet.
Hard nutlet?
Nutlet.
Nutlet.
Like a
hard nutlet.
Like a mini nut. Like someone with small testicles.
Yeah, a hard nut to crack or hard nutlet.
So if you're in Russia and you say a hard nutlet, they'll be like, that's a hard nut to crack.
Well, I will say this. I've never seen them firsthand, but I don't think Bruce Willis's nuts are nutlets. He's probably got a huge fucking pair he's dragging around.
Like grapefruits.
Like grapefruits, at least.
He's tired of them.
It's painful.
Yeah. So let's skip ahead a little bit here. I want to speed this up a little bit.
Yeah, we're dragging here.
We are. That's all right, though. I mean, I'm going to cut the fuck out of this anyway. So, we get introduced to a couple of people. One of which is Al, played by
Al Powell.
That's right,
Reginald Vell Johnson.
Vell Johnson, who's always playing cops for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, Family Matters.
Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful.
I found something quite interesting. Okay, he plays in a jail guard in Ghostbusters.
No shit.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
Again, police force character. That's crazy.
Exactly. And
Typecast.
another tie-in to Ghostbusters is William Atherton, who is the nosy asshole journalist guy.
Oh,
who is the reporter who ends up spilling the beans about Holly Gennaro's relationship to John McClane
and breaking into the house with the nanny and just basically threatening.
That guy's a dick. I love how they paint the media as pretty much assholes in this movie.
Can I say when you call her Holly Gennaro, it's like you're taking her side. That upsets me. That upsets me.
You know, she's an independent, liberated woman, and if you can't get past that, maybe go back to the 1920s with Frank Sinatra.
Yeah,
I would love to. I would love to see Sinatra as John McClane. Yeah. Because I will tell you, there would be no Holly Gennaro in that version of the film.
Holly Sinatra.
You would be forced to call her Sinatra. You would. Holly Sinatra. It's John McClane. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, that's just all blue eyes. You get used to him after a while. He's a kind of a hard nut to crack.
Fucking nutlet.
So yeah, Al gets on the scene. Al Paul, people just don't fucking believe.
Okay, the first time you see Al, he is buying Twinkies for his pregnant wife.
Yeah.
And I read a little bit of trivia that for a while after this, actually he's in the Die Hard 2 movie, which I haven't seen in a while, but I guess he's eating Twinkies in that too. But people were constantly throwing Twinkies at him and yelling at him on the street.
I give him a lot of credit in that movie, his character in that movie though, because he takes some real shit from that, gas station employee or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
He, takes some shit from that guy.
He takes shit from everybody.
He does, but you know what? When he laughed it off and then tipped the guy. I don't know if you saw that. He fucking tips the guy.
He puts, money in, some kind of charity bucket or something. You don't tip a gas station employee.
Why would they make a point of him, giving money to charity in that? No, it was the fucking, hey, all right, you're funny. Okay. I'm going to tip you.
Maybe right.
Because he's a man of the people, just like John McClane.
Can we fucking talk about one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie? Basically, when John McClane kills that first terrorist.
Can we talk about that terrorist for a second?
Yes, please do.
That guy looked exactly like my brother back in 1980. His hair was exactly the same, short in the front, long in the back. He's got a mullet. He's got these humongous glasses. And then he's wearing a gray sweatshirt with gray sweatpants. That just seems unacceptable even in the 80s.
Was that a cathartic moment for you in the movie?
Yeah, I was kill my brother.
Yeah, fuck you.
My brother used to tie me to a chair the moment my parents left. And then, right before they got home, he would untie me. And it was fucked up. My brother's...
So, yeah, this is cathartic, definitely.
It was cathartic.
Actually, I've just learned a lot about you, and a lot makes sense now that I never understood.
This is going to get even more cathartic for you, because the name of that terrorist was Tony in the movie.
Oh,
that happens to be my name.
And you love sweatpants.
Oh my god. Yeah. Don't get me started.
I love that guy's outfit. There's a lot of good 80s hair and clothes in this movie.
Definitely.
So, McClane, like the badass that he is, takes Tony's body, and puts now I have a machine gun.
Oh,
Ho, ho.
That is really badass. I love the sense
I think we've all done that. I think we've all done that at some point.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like when I was little, after I saw it, I was definitely like, I'm John McClane, a little fatter, but...
We've all been at a party, though, where someone passes out, and you're right, I have a machine gun, I mean, we've all been there,
Hey, I've been on both sides.
But, that again is how, like, John McClane is a man of the people, though, because we've all done that.
Yeah.
You guys think that Die Hard was one of, like, the first action movies of a type, sort of, like, going forward, or, like, blockbusters, like, moving forward?
It definitely was.
I would think so.
It hit a new watermark, where everything before that was so, at times, unbelievable.
Yeah.
With these action movies, and this one comes
Explosions
in, where the man of the, like you guys are saying, man of the people comes in, and just redefines, really, the story redefines the action genre.
And his character in particular, I think, because, a lot of heroes in stories, they kind of, nothing bothers him or anything, but he's constantly, he's got those feet problems. Let's talk about his feet problems. No, we'll get to that. But he's got, like, real issues, and he's like, just a regular dude wearing a wife beater. Can we talk about, wear a wife beater through the whole fucking film?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's not a man of the people.
That's a standard.
If that's not a man of the people.
It's interesting that the guy wrote the screenplay for Last Action Hero, because that is basically, like, taking the genre and making a stereotype of it.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
But also, this movie was probably... It has the one-liners and the humor and the explosions and like they really beefed up the gunshots and the explosions. Actually, Bruce Willis, he lost 2/3 of his hearing in his left ear because they wanted the gunshots to be so loud that that scene where he shoots up through a desk, like the blanks were so loud, he actually lost partial hearing in one of his ears.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Permanently, yes. He made like $8 million, but I mean...
I'd probably give up 2/3 of my hearing for $8 million.
I would. In 1 year, sure.
Speaking of excellent, iconic moments in the movie, that shooting up through a table one is definitely there. Mm-hmm. But when John is communicating through this radio that he gets from the first guard, Tony, that he kills, and there are some moments on the radio where it's him, it's Hans, and it's Al. Mm-hmm. But the moment where McClane and Hans really not bond, but actually kind of have a charming little conversation, tete-a-tete, is where he says, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker." It was voted, I believe, one of the best movie quotes of all time.
Oh, yeah.
I love out of all the movies, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker" makes it into, like, right top.
Yeah, it's in the American lexicon.
I can imagine 80s audiences just like cracking up in the theater. I mean, I've never seen a Roy Rogers movie in my life, probably. So.
I bet most people don't know that.
Yeah.
But John McClane's probably like, 40 in this movie? I mean...
I think he's younger than that.
You think like 30s?
Yeah.
He's never looked young. You know how a lot of, like, actors never look old?
I think because
he always looked old, but he, like, never aged beyond that.
Yeah,
it was just like...
He looks the same in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, he looks the same in everything. He actually, like... think about how much older he is now compared to when Die Hard came out. And he, like, doesn't look that different. I mean, it's impressive, I'd fuck him. That's what we're all getting to. Yeah.
I'm going to fast forward here. Basically what happens in the movie, John McClane just keeps on pecking away at these terrorists. One by one. Just offing them here and there.
Yeah. He writes a list of their names on his arm because he's like cutting them down. Yeah.
Which that list never makes an appearance again after that, which is one of the goofs of the movie. So, and we are brought to the scene with basically Hans Gruber faking that he's one of the victims of the terrorists, not the man in charge, which is a very charming scene because you think that Hans outsmarts McClane. He doesn't. He hands him a gun with no bullets in it.
That's right. You know what scene I'd like to go to is the scene in the computer room where they shoot the glass. I mean, we've made some references to his feet a lot.
Yes.
But, there's a scene where he, this is actually after this, because he realizes that he's not wearing shoes, Hans does, and then they shoot all the glass, and this room, ever since I first saw this movie, maybe not when I first saw it, but I always thought it kind of stuck out, like, what the room looked like. There's all these crazy computers, it just looks like a really strange set design, and I always thought it was out of place. But this room, like the original script, had this building be like completely computer run, which explains like the keypad at the beginning.
Yes.
They wanted doors to be opened by this computer.
This was the building of the future.
Exactly. That's right. And they kind of cut that like plot line out, but the room still stands in there, and I love him shooting the glass, and it fucks up his feet,
It is
refresh my memory. Why is he not wearing shoes?
Because of that first line in the movie. He's making fists with his toes to I don't know.
He takes off his shoes to do that?
At the very beginning. Like, well, where he gets in the bathroom of like Holly Gennaro's office.
Holly McClane.
And he takes off his shoes.
How we made this clear.
Actually, I read that in that scene, he's actually wearing like rubber feet shoes that look like bare feet.
Okay, I didn't even want to know that.
I don't know.
That's like a foot condom. What are we doing?
I don't want to know foot condom.
I couldn't tell myself, but this is just...
It was a weekend with Tony all over.
Hey, you know me. Basically, we're getting down to the end of it. This movie...
We covered pretty much...
This movie is pretty fucking good, you guys.
It was so good.
You know what?
Ruby shot that guy.
He shoots a lot of guys.
Dude, that rooftop scene was stellar.
Yeah.
Where you got the Special Agents Johnson in that fucking helicopter. He takes the hose, ties it around his goddamn waist, comes up off the building while it's blowing up, and kicks
Fuck yeah.
a window open with his feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which they recreated in one of the Machete movies with a man's intestines as the rope.
Gross!
Holy shit. That's
gross. That's not as gross as foot condoms.
What do you think of those Machete movies? I've not seen them.
I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen the second one. But the first one, it was good. It was watchable.
They just take action to the next level, pretty much.
To the next level. It was no hobo with a shotgun, but it's worth watching.
That's a good one.
All right, Dieter, what do you think about this movie?
What do I think about it?
Yeah.
It, defined who I am as a man.
Strong praise.
I'll say this. I wear wife beaters every day.
They're called A-shirts. Hello.
Is that why you're always soaked with blood and sweat?
I make a point. I make a point of soaking myself in blood, sweat, and cum. I soak my wife beaters in that.
It looks in the mirror. I'm John fucking McClane.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay,
I've given up shoes.
Every morning I say yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Every day I oil my feet because I've realized that I'm not the only character in the story of my life. My feet are like a whole separate giant character that I need to really take care of. And also,
foot condoms.
I think about sometimes, what if I had to go to, my girlfriend's, Christmas party and,
Wait, we didn't even talk about how this is a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
there's so much to say about this is the Christmas movie, right?
Yeah.
This is the definition of Christmas.
It just seems, why? Why is it a Christmas movie? What? Did they want to release it around Christmas, I wonder?
Yeah, I think a lot of big movies come out around, go take your family on Christmas to Die Hard.
It's like a stretch in a lot of ways to make it a Christmas movie. It does feel like that to me. I mean, I love it.
I disagree. Yeah, that's why he came out there. I just feel like it was a plot point that was... I don't even think... They weren't, trying to make it a Christmas movie or anything, but it is. It did, coincidentally, become the best Christmas movie.
Up there with...
Gremlins,
Miracle on Die Hard Street.
Oh, dang.
Yes.
I was thinking Home Alone.
Yeah, Home Alone's definitely up there, too, but...
Gremlins, that's a good one.
Probably one.
Yeah, you don't hear about Gremlins a lot.
Mark, what do you think about the movie?
I'm just gonna have to agree with Dieter that it was, it's amazing. It's one of the best action movies, and, it sets a standard. And I love action movies. I really do. I don't know if it's a sign of just my age or the time I was raised in, but, I don't like a lot of drama. I like like a lot of fun explosions and gunfights.
I don't have to think.
Strangling people with a chain. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have to.
Yeah, oh, you know what? And this movie was genuinely exciting.
Oh yeah.
I thought this movie was fantastic. Mm-hmm. Like this movie is the movie that I've seen more than any other movie of my life. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start with this movie, because I don't see many movies. And another reason why I wanted to start this podcast is because I'm going to get more cultured in movies. So this is...
I don't know if you call it culture.
Right. But yeah, like, rewatching this, I felt my heart rate get actually speedier because... Speedier.
It wasn't just the Adderall.
But I give this...
I think we all know he was the coke guy from the...
I love
getting
the
real
fact
speedy over here.
My heart rate got super speedy when the action started to pick up.
You know, I love movies also, action movies where it's kind of an enclosed environment. This movie, The Raid Redemption, have you ever seen that? I highly recommend that. It's
I've been meaning to, yeah. I've heard great things.
Good. It's like a guy who has to fight his way up through a building that's enclosed.
That's like the whole movie. Right?
What?
He fights floor by floor.
It's supposed to be amazing.
What's it called?
Raid Redemption.
Raid Redemption.
All right.
Very, very good. But it does kind of remind me of that. I mean, he's enclosed in this building.
The movie poster indicates that there are 12 terrorists. The fucking poster's incorrect. There are 13 terrorists in total. Even
a baker's dozen of terrorists.
Also, 13's a really, like, dangerous number. You'd think they would just, like, go with that anyway.
For real.
Yeah. 13 terrorists, one man. What can one man do versus 13 terrorists? Unlucky 13.
Honestly, what could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Die hard.
All right,
okay,
folks.
wait. One last tidbit of information. The most famous scene probably is when Hans Gruber is dropped from the top of the tower.
Oh,
right?
Yes, that's right.
It was shot in 300 frames per second, which is extremely fast.
Especially for that time.
Yeah, especially for that time. I mean, I work in this TV or internet show called Rock and Roller Remote Controller.
Yeah, you do.
But
plug.
We shoot in 30
Let's
frames per second,
mode.
or 70 frames per second, but Hans Gruber was dropped, or Alan Rickman was dropped by a stagehand or whatever, and he actually dropped it. He was going to count to 3, and he dropped him on 2 to get the right reaction of surprise out of his face.
That's amazing. Yeah. And that's a great choice by the director.
It was. And it was a great reaction.
That's how Alan Rickman died.
He dropped him from
R.I.P.
But he dropped him from a 21-foot high model. So it's not actually from a building.
One of the Playboy models?
We are going to take a look at the game side of game and movie here with Die Hard for the NES. It was designed or developed actually by Pack-In Video, which is like a Japanese developer, and published by Activision here in the States. In Japan, it launched on July 19th, 1991. In North America, it was January of 1992. So there was only a 6-month lag there, where sometimes, like in the case of like games like Mario 3, there was like years of lag between the release.
For whatever reason.
Developer Pack-In Video, primarily a Japanese video game publisher and developer, mostly focused on that market. They have done developed games for the 3DO, the Famicom, Super Famicom, PlayStation, and the PCFX over there. They are known for a couple of games, though, that made it to the States. Friday the 13th, Knight Rider, Predator, and Rambo. A fucking just winners all around.
Shitty fucking track record.
I want to play the Knight Rider game.
I do too. I've never played
the Predator game.
Predator is not that good.
What system is the Predator for?
NES. Those were all Famicom games that actually made it over to the States.
Predator versus Knight Rider.
I think we got our line.
Predator versus Knight Rider.
I think we just hit something, Michael.
So this game was actually very rare in the States. According to the designer of the game...
It was rare back then?
It was rare back then because it was only sold through Toys R Us an offer during December of 1991.
Holy
1 month.
So you could buy this 1 month at Toys R Us.
Only one retailer.
Shooting yourself in the foot right there.
Right.
Well, I can't believe everyone doesn't own this game.
I mean, this was kind of in the death throes of the NES's life.
I mean, it's right
91,
before Super Nintendo, Sega, for sure.
Sega was already out. The Genesis was.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is one of the few games, back then, almost everything was done in Japan. This time around, the designers were from America.
And it shows.
The good old US of A. They're from America and actually sent their designs out to Pack-In Video, who took the American designs and converted them into a game, and then launched there first, which is weird because it was designed here, and then over here, which is the game's very odd.
Pack-In Video is just the name of the development company?
Yeah, development company. And they've got swallowed into another company. Really boring story with that developer, honestly. But in this game, there's 7 endings, actually, if you want to call them endings. If you want to call them endings. But there are 7 different...
more and more interesting.
Right? Can we talk about, the angry video game nerd?
Let's talk about that right from the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, I had, such a bad impression of this game because of his review on it. And, so I'm well, this game's a fucking turd. Let's review that. It'll be fun to slam it. But then I start playing this game, and I'm like...
It's addicting.
It's not actually that bad.
I gotta say, when I first started it, I did not like it at all.
Really?
And I'll tell you why. Okay, when you are a kid, this is like a epidemic, basically. When you're a kid, you have 5 games. And you play the shit out of them.
Yes, you do.
And you love them. Because you have no choice.
It's true.
And also, they're in one way or another, they're kind of groundbreaking. Which I'm sure this game kind of was in a way. But, now I have this emulator with 700 NES games. You play a game, if it kind of sucks from the beginning, right away, it doesn't grab you.
Sure.
What's to stop you from skipping it immediately?
Right.
And this is probably what happened to Angry Video Game Nerd.
I'm thinking so, too.
In this game, it doesn't look great. I mean, the graphics are pretty bad. The guy walking, John McClane walking, is two pictures.
It's two frames of animation, pretty much.
Which is bad.
NES, what do you want?
I mean, there's a lot better than that on NES.
Oh, definitely.
And the graphics aren't great, and it's hard. So right there, you got a recipe for, in this day and age, giving up immediately.
But aren't you glad that you actually, I
am. I'm kind of surprised.
Me too. I thought
it's like
the game won me over by the end. I did have to go to GameFAQs to figure out how to beat the game. This wasn't all me by myself.
What?
You played through and beat it?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I beat it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I gave up. I do that with everything.
I mean, it's hard.
Anything in my life that requires any sort of ability, I just give up on immediately.
Yeah, and that's where you are today.
In this room talking about a game that you gave up on. Wow, you suck.
Don't worry, we're all here. We're all in the same boat.
We are. We totally are.
You go rethink my life.
Oh no. Make sure to take alcohol with you.
That's too much effort. I'm just gonna go play the Star video game again. It's easier than figuring out my life.
Yeah.
There are 40 terrorists scattered throughout the building.
I thought there was only 13!
Yeah.
Well, in the game, there's 40.
It's not movie accurate.
No, it's not.
Is that how you beat the game, is killing all the terrorists?
That's right.
Okay.
The last one will be Hans.
Huh. They are hard to kill.
Yeah, the blue ones are. The blue ones have the spread shot, which is crazy at first.
Oh my gosh. Can we talk about the spread shot for a minute? I'm number one, I'm glad to hear you call it the spread shot, because I didn't know if I made that up or if that was what we called shit. I remember playing Contra.
Yeah, Contra. That's where it's
spread, right?
Spread, yeah.
But Okay, in NRA, I hope you're listening. Why have we not made a gun that does that yet? Like that you can hold straight forward and it shoots out in multitude of directions. Like, it just makes sense. You can kill a lot of people that way.
It is the next logical step.
Totally.
Oh my god, the enemy has learned to stand between the spray shot. What do we do now? And that's like their only way they can get out of it. But, you know... the spread shot was huge, and you know, you look for a real life thing of that, and I cannot believe it does not exist.
Well, I mean, if you pay attention to the game, right? I mean, you're looking, and it's top down perspective, you know. And if you look, it's actually
a machine gun.
It's a machine gun, going
which is what I thought. But spread exists. Spread exists in video games.
Spread exists.
Nah.
From Contra, I remember from Contra.
Yeah, dude, spread. You get the spread. You don't let go of that motherfucker.
Oh, no,
right.
that's
how
the
you
one
beat
to get.
Contra without dying.
Yeah.
You just keep spreading.
So there's 40 terrorists, and this game is unique. I have not played a game like this on the NES, and it's just a unique game by itself.
It is kind of
Such a weird game. Can be beaten in like 20 minutes flat. Not a problem. Like, you just need to know what to do. Just like the movie. And it does follow the plot of the movie, which is another awesome thing that I thought they did a very good job on, is the things you do in this game, they actually make sense. They are plot accurate. Except for the 40 terrorists thing, I guess.
Yeah, they always have these cutscenes that are directly
The
from
cutscenes are pretty good graphics on those. I mean, the game itself is not anything to bark home about, but...
I barked home about it.
Bark home about it! Die hard for the NES! Real rare, Mom!
The first thing you'll notice when you play this game... The first thing you'll notice is that, like, everything is blacked out. And you're, like, as you enter different areas, like, it'll light up. And when I first started, I'm like, oh, this is bullshit. What a shitty graphics. They can't even put all these graphics on the screen at once.
You idiot.
But then after playing it for a while, I realized it all has to do with your field of vision.
Yes.
It's like if you're around a
corner,
light
switch.
Yeah, it's like on a light switch. Okay, if you go around a corner...
That's what I sound like. Dick.
In my head, that's what you sound like.
I know.
It's time for Maki vision.
It's kind of cool that when you go around corners, like, these areas light up. And there could be a guy toting a machine gun behind
That's awesome. I'm glad that you brought that up, because what other game has done that? I thought it was a very good idea with Die Hard.
It's like a first-person shooter, like, sneaking game.
Yes.
But, like, you know, in this type of...
And you can hear them when they're in the level with you. You can hear them. You can hear their footsteps. It's like, oh shit,
true.
somebody's around the corner.
And these guys, like, you know, you're tempted to just kind of shoot as much as you can, and just kind of like balls to the walls, kind of kill them. But really, you should like play like cat and mouse with them.
Definitely,
each guy you should treat like a difficult enemy. It
forces respect.
It does kind of, yeah. This
they got the spread.
They got the spread.
They got the spread.
Yeah.
And you can also get the spread too. And
if you find a classy prostitute, you can get real good spread.
You can get that spread gun, but I find that spread gun is really hard to control.
Yeah, that's true.
When it's shooting so violently like that. Oh, God.
Okay.
You side to side, in and out. It's, for real, hard to control. The control in this game... Let's just say it's not as good as it could be.
Yeah,
it sucks, and that is definitely the worst part of the game. I think.
Yep, the control definitely.
And bullets also. This is another thing. By the end of the game, it doesn't really work out as such, because you should have plenty of bullets by the end of the game. But at first, you're set right down there with your pistol, not a spread shoot gun, you know, an Uzi or anything. 15 bullets. Mm-hmm. And you have to really scrap to get, you know, your C4. You have to get their guns. You have to get the radio, the key for the roof, so you can call for help.
Hey, I like that though, because that's real. Like, right. You know, I don't find bullets in every garbage can I go through, but like in real life, you know, but like every like 10th I find some, you know, and I have to like really hang on to them, you know. And C4, I only find that in every like 50th garbage can. So it's like, you really gotta, you know, you gotta think about that in Milwaukee, you know, yeah.
You are the stats man.
Well, you know, I'm just saying, you know, I've done my research on that, and this game is fucking real. It's real shit.
Given their limitations, graphics-wise, I feel like they really did their best to capture, like, the die-hard aspect.
It's true.
Like
it's
you
true.
are a lone survivor. Like, you don't have that many bullets. If you die, you die. It's game over. There's no lives. There's no continues. And that is frustrating.
There is if you know the continue code.
Yeah.
And even then, you only get 2.
If you know a secret code, you still only get 2, which I think is fucked up.
So if you went to Toys R Us and bought this game, and there's 1 month, and you got the right Nintendo Power, maybe,
right?
You could get multiple continues.
So, yeah.
Couldn't look it up.
Another frustrating thing about this game, like, you'd throw your controller down and say, this is too fucking hard, I'm never playing it again. Mm-hmm. Unless you were a young child.
And you only have 4 games.
Right, and then you saw that Nintendo Power. You know, the internet wasn't around back then. You couldn't just look it up.
The internet wasn't around back then?
No!
No, you just had to...
God, we're old.
Jerk off to Laura Croft. And
oh my god, she's swimming again.
She's swimming. I love
she's swimming.
Oh, I love this. Yeah.
What are you doing in there, Dieter? Oh, I'm just playing video games.
That's a bow tie spinning. Also the collar pull.
Oh.
Get out of here, Mom.
Oh, Mom, don't you know to knock?
No, but I thought this game was way better than I would have given it credit for.
Totally. You do have to stick it out, sort of. You have to give it I mean, I played it a few times and just gave up immediately, but...
It has the broken glass part in it, which is excellent.
That's crazy. It's really cool.
I didn't know what the fuck that was, so I'm just going through it.
Like earlier, Dieter came over, he's like, what's that?
It doesn't look like broken glass.
Yeah, it's broken glass. I'm like, oh, that makes sense, but I would not know that by looking at it. I had no clue what it was.
Looks like basic rubble.
Yeah.
It does, yep. It's weird. You have like a health bar, and then you have like
a foot bar. A foot bar.
I actually think that's huge because, like I said earlier, John McClane's feet are a whole nother character in this game. It's really
true.
I can't.
Feet get a life bar.
I can't under stress how important John McClane's feet are in this game. It's huge in the movie too, but the game really makes the feet central focus. I think that keeping your feet healthy is like a bigger goal than killing Hans Gruber.
Because it slows you down too. Because when your feet are hurt, you don't move as fast, and then you can't avoid bullets.
And this whole game is timed, by the way. This whole game is timed.
It's a timed game.
That's
yes.
True.
So, once Theo breaks through that fucking 6th lock, he calls on Gruber, and then the FBI shut down the power, and the Ode to Joy song plays. Mm-hmm. Which is... That's a really cool little thing that they snuck in that NES game.
Is it actually in the game?
It is actually in the game. The power is shut down by the FBI, the agents Johnson and Special Agent Johnson. Yeah. In the game itself, you hear Ode to Joy play. And I'm like, damn, now this is true to movie. And it got slandered.
I prefer the Christmas song that Argyle played.
Yeah, where's that in that
Teach
NES?
their own, I guess, you know.
I guess I would like to hear some Run DMC, some NES versions of...
a digitized Run DMC.
Sure.
Yeah, I like to see, after playing a little bit, I like to see that you could get into the vents, too.
Yes!
The vents, I love the vents in it.
Some of the graphics are not the best, but
the
they
perspective
have
is weird.
They have that cool table that zigzags that's in the movie. Mm-hmm. They have the vents that you can go in, which
the
is
Christmas
cool.
tree,
and that does have Dieter's favorite tagline from the movie, which was. Sorry, but just
Dieter's drunk, guys. You should know that.
Now I know TV dinner feels.
Yeah, that's right. Which was very specific to the 80s, because I think TV dinners were...
I actually think the poster should have been...
Now you know
13 terrorists. Now I know how a TV dinner feels.
Damn. There you go. Send it up.
Yeah. Think how much more money the movie could have made.
Probably
the popularity
$5,
of TV
$6.
Dinners, you know?
Well, at least the TV dinner money.
Oh yeah, why isn't there a TV dinner spin-off?
Yeah.
John McClane.
TV dinner.
When you on Lawrence Encore.
This game is hard, but give it a chance.
This game's really hard, but you could beat it in 20 minutes if you tried.
Yeah. Unique game. Took me by surprise. I'd say fucking play this game. Really, honestly, play it. If you can find it, which you probably can't, emulate the fuck out of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, one more thing. Why is Health soda?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
not even a single soda in the movie.
Right. Okay, so Health is soda, and the feet are so important that med kits repair your feet, not your health.
Yeah, that's true.
Seriously.
Can I just say a large part of my diet is based on this game, and I always assume my health would go up with the more soda I drink, and my dentist is pissed.
That's why
I try to explain it to him.
Like, dude, you ever see Die Hard? Dentist? You ever...
Have I ever seen Die Hard?
You just call him dentist.
I call it
dentist.
Funky.
You ever see Die Hard?
Dentist. Hey.
That's Sylvester Stallone, I think.
Hey, dentist.
He was also offered a role in Die Hard.
I wish that were true.
It was true.
Was that true?
Yeah. Bruce Willis totally out-acted.
He killed it.
Totally.
Yeah, he was perfect.
He was perfect.
He was perfect.
But you have to think about what could have been with Sinatra and Stallone.
You have to. You're right.
What if Sinatra was McClane and Stallone played like the cokehead guy?
Damn, Stallone would be a great cokehead guy.
Oh my god, I just did a lot of coke.
I closed multi-million-dollar deals for breakfast. I think I can handle this Euro trash.
I actually just did my Travolta impression, which I've gotten a lot of criticism for lately, and I'm not happy about
because
it.
It sounds
well, you're
like
not getting any from me.
I think it sounds dead on, but nobody likes it, apparently.
I love it.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
John Travolta, who was also in Pulp Fiction. There we go.
All right, final thoughts. What do we think? I'm gonna start this out.
Okay.
You know, we don't know what we're doing here. This is our first podcast for each of us. I mean, have you guys been on podcasts before?
I didn't want to bring my resume to it, but no, I haven't. I don't know.
So you know, we're just kind of feeling this out right now, and like, definitely glad that you're checking this out. And if you're this far along, that means that you've at least sort of liked it.
You've at least been a kid during the month of December that went to a Toys R Us in the year
1991.
91, yeah.
Or you think Dieter's like
Japanese.
really hot, and you just follow anything that.
I would imagine that's the bulk of the audience here, which is
mostly
maybe teetering on one person, but I'm the one bringing it in.
Well, we ruled out our girlfriends.
Carry your way.
Well, not going to be watching or listening.
Definitely not.
And my final thoughts are: what a surprise the game was! What a classic fucking film! I come away absolutely pleased. What about you guys?
Yeah.
If Tony's pleased, I'm pleased.
We're going to talk after this.
Oh, I know we are.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
And then we're not going to talk.
Yeah, I mean...
And that's when it gets interesting.
Yeah, well, you know, we're honestly 7th graders at heart.
And penis size.
And penis.
No, honestly, obviously the movie up there with the classics of action filmage. The game, you know, all things considered, it's not bad. It's a fun game. In some ways, pretty innovative for the time it came out. Brought some new shit to the table that, you know, I don't think it really gets credit for. It was fun. It was fun.
Agreed. Mark?
I think I just agree with all. I agree with all of you guys. It set the standard for action movies, and the video game was a pain in my ass. But I respect it at an intellectual level. Much like E.T. for Atari.
Where were those buried again?
But very hard to play.
So, how do you communicate with us? Well, we're working on this right now. I just set up our email address at gameandmovie@gmail.com.
Wow, that's gonna.
I don't think we all agreed on that.
Well, you know, you don't have a choice, so.
Heck
That's
yeah,
true.
Can we
No.
get the swearing?
No, it's definitely hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell is not even a swear
Yeah,
word.
I don't know. But
Yeah, okay, so it's game and movie, hell yeah, @gmail.com. Send us some email. We would love to read any correspondence for what we just did.
Also, dick and tit pics, you know? Like,
dick and tit pics. That's hard to say. I understand why you just stumbled over that. That's fucking hard to say.
Don't point out that I stumbled
Or dick
over
pits,
it.
which is that area underneath your...
Oh, man, I don't want any dick pit pictures.
Dick pit?
I just don't want the pictures.
Are you guys talking about dishes?
How many of those you gotta filter through to get to some tits?
Oh, there's definitely not gonna be any tit pics.
No, just
maybe some lonely dick
pits.
pics.
Lonely dick pic.
If you can dress up your dick
no
like John
pictures.
McClane, please send that our way.
Yeah.
A little wife beater.
Yeah.
Roll it around the glass. Just slam that penis on the glass and roll it around.
Your
baby.
testicles are John McClane's feet.
Oh, God damn it!
Wrap it up.
All right.
And with that,
Dieter, where can people find you? Do you want to be found?
I just don't talk to me. Ever.
All right, Mark. I know you've got some stuff to pimp.
if you feel like it, I have a YouTube channel called My Chronic World.
Yeah.
It's Dieter's probably one of my only fans.
I'm the only
Maybe
one.
Tony too.
It's good.
But I've had
I've
some
been known
good.
to like
I've had
a
some
video of
videos. Ninja House.
Ninja
If
House.
you just search Ninja House, the animated series, you'll find extremely entertaining animated TV show about ninjas who live in a house. And what would you say, Dieter?
I play Ninja Dan.
Yeah, Dieter is one episode.
It's about ninjas dealing with day-to-day shit, you know?
Yes.
Like, how do ninjas pay bills and shit? You gotta fucking figure it out.
They gotta live somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So Ninja House, the animated series on YouTube.
I've actually also played a character on it, Ninja Don.
Yeah.
Anywhere else that...
Oh yeah, Rock and Roller Remote Controller is a Milwaukee-based TV show that features bands' music videos into a episodic storyline that follows Tab Man, our man-child host.
I too am on that.
Tab Man child.
As Herman, Tab
right.
Man's nemesis.
That's right. Yeah, we are all connected in very creative ways here. And where can we find that?
Rock and Roller Remote
Is it
Controller.
RRRC? Right?
RRRC MKE is the name on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And just look up, just watch some episodes, because...
I believe on Facebook it's very similar, right?
We work...
You can just search for it.
That's right. We don't make any money doing these shows, but...
No money.
None at all.
It's
We lose
business.
a lot of money.
On how much money they lose.
It's been a passion project.
Yes.
But a very successful spiritually, I think. No, for real.
Unlike this podcast, which we are solely doing for money.
Yes.
We'll set up a Patreon sooner or later, I'm sure.
Go fund me.
You can find me at Octavius Farnsworth on the Facebooks. I have a YouTube channel that I sorely need to get back to, and that is just under Anthony Schwader. So you can
Very funny YouTube channel.
Yeah. Also contribute to his GoFundMe to get that tattoo removed from his forehead. 420 was funny for a while, Tony.
It was funny for 1 minute.
1 minute, but it lasted a lot longer than that, didn't it? We tried to warn you at the time, but
you keep bringing it up, and I'm insecure about it.
well, that's what the GoFundMe's for.
So yeah, again, that email is gameandmovie@gmail.com, which you should just fucking spam with the dick pit.
Dick
Dick pit. It's the pit of the dick, right?
Definitely
What's a tit pit?
Definitely want to. God damn it! I definitely want to give a shout out to Leah Patra for donating the laptop that we're actually recording this on. Thank you so much, Leah. This has been Game and Movie. See you guys later. Next episode.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!
Now I know what a TV dinner feels like.